Dangerous modification number 1. Cheap tuner chips and plug-in ECU enhancers. This is perhaps the most destructive modification sold today. Yet these devices are marketed everywhere online with miraculous claims of 35 horsepower gains and 5 miles per gallon improvements from a simple plug-in device. The engineering reality? These devices work by tricking your engine control unit into injecting more fuel or advancing timing beyond safe levels. The short-term result might feel like more power, but the long-term consequence is catastrophic engine damage. These $50 to $150 devices typically override NOx sensor data or manipulate air-fuel ratio sensors to create a richer mixture. This causes carbon buildup, oil contamination, and eventually detonation that destroys pistons and cylinder walls. A proper engine tune from a reputable shop with a dynamometer costs between $500 to $900 because it requires careful mapping of fuel, timing, and air across all RPM ranges with specialized equipment. One Nissan owner who installed a $79 performance chip experienced rod-bearing failure just 7,600 miles after installation, resulting in a complete engine replacement costing $6,800. If you want real performance gains from tuning, there are no shortcuts. Invest in a proper custom tune from an established performance shop with proven results and customer testimonials. Quality tuners like HP tuners, Cobb Access Port, or SCT devices programmed by knowledgeable professionals can safely increase performance without compromising reliability, but they require expert calibration, not just a simple plug-in solution claiming universal improvements. Dangerous modification number 2, disabling or removing emissions equipment, especially EGR systems and catalytic converters. Despite widespread advice on some automotive forums, removing emissions equipment without proper compensation in the engine tune creates serious reliability issues. The exhaust gas recirculation system does more than meet emission standards. It actually helps control combustion temperatures and prevent detonation. When EGR systems are blocked off or disabled, combustion temperatures rise dramatically, increasing the risk of pre-ignition and valve damage. Similarly, removing catalytic converters without proper tuning creates exhaust back pressure changes that the factory ECU is not programmed to handle. The computer continues to make fuel and timing decisions based on expected back pressure that no longer exists. One Ford owner who blocked his EGR ports experienced cracked exhaust valves and scored cylinder walls after just 23,000 miles, resulting in repair costs exceeding $3,400. If emissions equipment is causing legitimate issues on high-mileage vehicles, the correct approach is to repair or replace the components rather than removing them entirely. Modern engines are designed as complete systems, and removing major components without compensating for the changes leads to expensive failures. There are legal high-flow catalytic converters and EGR cooler upgrades available that maintain emissions compliance while improving performance. Dangerous modification number 3, oversized turbochargers or superchargers on stock internal engines. Adding forced induction or upgrading to a significantly larger turbocharger without strengthening internal engine components is a recipe for disaster. The aftermarket industry loves selling these kits because they know you will be back for an engine rebuild soon after. Stock connecting rods, pistons, and bearings are designed for specific horsepower and torque levels. When boost pressure significantly increases these forces, the factory components simply cannot handle the additional stress. A typical stock engine might tolerate a 20 to 30% increase in power with careful tuning, but the 70 to 100% increases promised by some forced induction kits inevitably lead to connecting rod failures, spun bearings, or cracked pistons. One Mustang GT owner installed a supercharger kit advertised for stock engines that promised 150 additional horsepower. Despite following the installation instructions precisely, his engine suffered catastrophic connecting rod failure after just 4,200 miles of normal driving, with occasional full-throttle acceleration. The repair cost, including machine work, exceeded $8,700. If you want to add significant forced induction, budget for internal engine upgrades including forged pistons, stronger connecting rods, and appropriate head studs. The additional $2,500 to $4,000 in internal upgrades is far cheaper than a replacement engine. Dangerous modification number 4. Aggressive camshaft upgrades without supporting modifications. Camshafts control the breathing of your engine, and changing these critical components dramatically alters how the engine produces power. While performance camshafts can indeed add significant horsepower, they require extensive supporting modifications to operate reliably. Yet many cam kits are marketed as simple bolt-on upgrades. An aggressive camshaft without upgraded valve springs, proper headwork, revised fuel and timing maps, and often different converter stall speeds creates severe drivability issues and premature failures. The overlap and duration changes in performance cams alter the entire operating characteristics of the engine in ways that the factory ECU cannot properly manage without custom tuning. A Chevrolet Camaro owner installed performance camshafts advertised to add 60 horsepower but neglected the supporting modifications. The result was burned exhaust valves from improper seating and severe detonation issues that ultimately required a complete top-end rebuild costing $3,900. If you want camshaft upgrades, approach them as part of a complete package including all necessary supporting components and professional tuning. Dangerous modification number 5. This is the one that truly horrifies professional engine builders. DIY electric fans wired directly to the battery without proper temperature controls or relays. This seemingly simple modification is promoted on countless YouTube channels and forums as an easy way to improve cooling, but the improper installation creates both performance problems and serious fire hazards. When electric cooling fans are wired to run constantly, engines often never reach proper operating temperature, especially in cooler climates. This leads to incomplete combustion, fuel dilution in the oil, and premature wear from extended warm-up periods. Even worse, when fans are wired directly without proper relays and circuit protection, they create a serious fire risk from overloaded wiring. One Dodge Ram owner experienced an engine compartment fire that caused $12,000 in damage after his DIY electric fan installation overheated the wiring. The proper approach is to use temperature-controlled relays and appropriate gauge wiring with circuit protection. Quality electric fan kits from established manufacturers include these critical components and detailed installation instructions. The additional $80 to $120 for a proper controller and relay kit is insignificant compared to the potential costs of improper installation. Now I have saved the absolute worst modification for last. This one is so destructive yet so commonly recommended that I hesitated to even include it. But this information could save you thousands in repair bills and countless headaches. The most dangerous modification of all: cheap oil catch cans with inadequate return systems. This modification has destroyed more engines than almost any other in recent years, yet it continues to be promoted as essential maintenance. The theory sounds reasonable, capturing blow-by gases to prevent oil contamination in the intake. However, the execution of most aftermarket catch cans is fundamentally flawed. Inexpensive catch cans often have inadequate return systems that create crankcase pressure imbalances. This increased pressure forces oil past seals and gaskets it would normally never penetrate. Even worse, many catch can installations vent crankcase pressure to atmosphere rather than recirculating it properly, disrupting the precise pressure balance modern engines require for optimal ring sealing and oil control. One Honda owner installed a popular $60 catch can kit and experienced severe oil leaks from multiple gaskets within 3,000 miles. The increased crankcase pressure eventually forced oil past the rear main seal, requiring extensive repairs costing over $2,800. If you believe your vehicle would benefit from a catch can, invest in a quality system from companies like Radium Engineering or Moroso that maintain proper pressure balance and include correct PCV integration. These systems typically cost between $250 to $400, but are engineered to work with, not against, your engine's design. So what is the bottom line on modifications? Quality upgrades that work with your engine's design principles can indeed improve performance without sacrificing reliability. But there are no magic shortcuts to major power gains without supporting modifications. The aftermarket industry thrives on selling dreams of easy power, but the engineering reality is more complex. For most daily drivers, focus on the supporting modifications first, like cooling, breathing, and suspension improvements that enhance the overall performance envelope rather than pushing power boundaries. These modifications generally improve reliability while adding moderate performance gains that you can actually use on the street. If you are planning more aggressive power modifications, remember that engines are systems of interconnected components designed to work together. Changing one significant parameter requires adjusting others to maintain balance. Budget accordingly and research thoroughly before making modifications that could cost far more in repairs than you save in initial purchase price. If this video saved you from a potentially engine-destroying modification, hit that like button right now. It helps this channel reach more car enthusiasts who might be considering these same modifications. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week I am revealing the truth about synthetic oils and the laboratory testing that exposes which premium brands are actually worth the money and which ones are glorified conventional oil with fancy packaging. And if you know someone considering any of these modifications, share this video with them immediately. You might save them thousands in repairs and the heartache of a failed engine. Which of these modifications were you considering before watching this video? Let me know in the comments. And if you have personal experience with any of these upgrades, whether positive or negative, share your story to help others make informed decisions. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I will see you in the next video where we continue exposing the secrets that the automotive aftermarket industry would prefer stayed hidden. Until then, modify wisely and drive safely.